Welcome to PsychBoost. This is experimental design. If I can just remind you as you listen to this video to write the Cornell notes as best you can and also answer the questions that I'll ask as we go through the video. Once you've finished, write this up as neatly as you can into your mind map and have a little look through some of the additional textbooks. Okay, now when we talk about experimental design, what we mean is how we use our participants between the different conditions. So the first experimental design we're going to talk about is repeated measures. Now the term repeated measures is quite simply what the participants do. We have one group of participants and they stay together, and all together they will do the first condition as a group, and then each one of them will then take part in the second condition. And then what you can do is you compare each person's response in the first condition with the response in the second condition and see if there's a change. Now, this is quite useful because we don't need that many participants. If we're going to say have 50 participants, that means we have 50 in condition 1 and we have 50 in condition 2. We like to have a big N. I like to have a big number of participants in each condition. So this is quite helpful, getting them to do both conditions. There are downsides to this though. Well, one issue is participant effects. So by the very fact that they've taken part in condition 1, their behavior in condition 2 might be affected. So by the time they get to condition 2, they might have gone, oh yeah, I think I've figured out how this works, and then alter their behavior. Or it could be that they're just simply more tired in condition 2, or it's closer to lunch and they're slightly hungry, or in some way by taking part in condition 1, this has then affected their performance in condition 2. There are things we can do to minimize this risk, but it's never going to go away completely with a repeated measures study. Okay, we do have another option. This other option is called independent groups, and again the name kind of states what it means. We start off initially with this large group of participants, let's say 50 for example, and then what we'll do is we'll just split them into two groups. And you can see at the top I've got one group, on the bottom I've got a different group, and what we find here is we put the top group into condition 1 and we put the top and bottom group into condition 2, and then we'll compare the results on condition 1 and condition 2. This solves the fact that if they figure it out after the first condition, well, that's okay, they're not going to take part in the second condition. However, by the colours of the little stick people that I've drawn, you can probably figure out there is a weakness to this. Okay, so we have no order effects, so it doesn't matter if they take condition 1 or condition 2 first because they're only taking 1, which results problems with demand characteristics. Our problem though is our individual differences. So it's a key term, our individual differences between participants. So you can see in the group that goes into condition 1 are significantly different than condition 2. So for example, we've got 3 yellow stick people and in condition 1 and 1 in the second. We have 2 light blue stick people in condition 1 and none in condition 2. So we can say that perhaps the differences that are between these groups might actually affect the performance of condition 1 or condition 2. If it was a real group, you might say be overrepresented in females in condition 1 and males in condition 2, and actually what you're measuring there isn't the effect of whatever independent variable you're manipulating on the dependent variable, you're actually measuring the differences between gender, for example. Also, another major weakness is you can see we started with quite a large group, but then because we split them in half, we then ended up with effectively fewer participants in each condition. So if we had that initial group of 50, for example, we would end up with only 25 in each group, which is a significant amount less than the repeated measures study above. So we'd either need to spend more money and get more participants in, or just deal with the fact that our results are going to be less powerful because we've got fewer participants. Okay, our third way is going to be an attempt to try and get the best of both situations. We're going to want to try and reduce these individual differences between participants in the independent groups selection, but also we want to try and avoid order effects. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do matched pairs. So what we start off with is we start off with a group of people, we start off with a sample of people. And then we're going to spend some time trying to find out some of their characteristics. And then we'll go out and we'll find some more participants. We'll find participants that match them on their individual characteristics. So if you have got a young male with a university education in one group, you try and find the same in another group. If you had an older female with lots of kids in one group, you might try and find the same with the other group. Okay, so you can see here now I've got two groups who are clearly as matched as possible, and I'm going to put the top group into condition 1 and the bottom group into condition 2, and then that should mean we should have no order effects because they'll only be doing one condition, but also our individual difference between participants is minimized. And then what we'll do is we'll compare the results of condition 1 with condition 2. Okay, what does this do then? Well, as I said, it reduces the individual differences between groups. It reduces the demand characteristics, so people are less likely to figure out what's going on. The downside, though, is it is difficult to match participants well. Especially people are individual, people are unique. So it might be that you can never truly find two groups of participants that are exactly the same.